Hello and welcome to this Romeo and Juliet webinar for years 10 and 11. And in this webinar, we'll look at Juliet in Act 1 in order to understand her character, the themes, and to use subject terminology to analyse quotations. The first quotation is Juliet in Act 1, Scene 3. Her mother and the nurse are asking her whether or not she would consider Paris as an eligible husband. And Juliet says, "I'll look to like if looking liking move, but no more deep will I indart mine eye than your consent gives strength to make it fly." We can see here that Juliet is a very compliant and obedient daughter. She's saying yes, it's an affirmative that she will look to like, she will see if Paris is a suitable and attractive husband. However, she says, if looking liking move. So she's dubious, she's cynical. She doesn't know at this point if looking will actually move someone to like or even love. But she says, no more deep will I indart mine eyes, so I won't go deeper than looking, then your consent gives strength to fly. I won't go beyond the boundaries of permission. Now, it's her mother who is offering or helping her to consider this nice young man, Paris, as a husband. So this links with the context of arranged marriages and wealthy families would look for suitable young men for their daughters. It also links with this idea of expectations of love. Juliet's expectations were very low. She hadn't really anticipated that you could meet someone and in a short amount of time like them. And in a few scenes forwards, we know that she meets someone and falls head over heels. When we think about subject terminology, we can see that alliteration and rhyming couplet are used, look to like, and then the I and the fly. This makes this very musical and smooth and elegant, and it shows that there's absolutely no conflict between Juliet and her family at this stage of the play. We also have flight imagery. She talks about her eye being endarted, which is a reference really to Cupid's arrow, perhaps hitting the target. But also she says that consent, which is being personified, gives instruction. Consent gives it the strength to make it fly, almost like a hawk that is trained and directed. Her love can be trained and directed and led by her mother. In the second quotation, Juliet has attended the ball. She has met, flirted with, kissed, and realized that Romeo is in fact a Montague. And she says this: "My only love sprung from my only hate, too early unknown and known too late." We can see this is very different to the cynical and resistant Juliet in the previous scene, in the earlier scene. Here, Juliet is overwhelmed by love. She's love-struck and she's lamenting and regretful. She can't believe that this passionate connection that she's made has actually been made with her enemy. Now, some people would argue that what would a 12-year-old know about love? How could a 12-year-old be overwhelmed by this sense of lament and regret and passion? Well, if we think about the context, children were given in marriage very young. So it's plausible to think that 12-year-olds at that time could have this intensity of emotion. This also links with this idea of a family feud. Her only hate is only hatred that's been learned. Society has made sure that Juliet hates because the feud of the families is so long-standing, the grudge is so ancient that it's a matter of course and a way of life. And also the fact that she has known too late and her actions are too early indicates the impulsiveness that leads many characters like Romeo, like Capulet, like Friar Lawrence to act before they fully consider the consequences of their behaviour. When we think about this subject terminology, in terms of subject terminology, we can see that iambic pentameter is used, my only love sprung from my only hate. We can see the antithesis or opposites, love, hate, early, late, and the parallelism that really show the conflict of her emotions and the fact that she is in love with an enemy. I hope that this has helped. Thank you for joining me and see you next time.